Question for you. Gigs. What gigs have you done that you loved? Gigs you've done that haven't maybe not gone according to plan or so on?
Um, I think I've been really lucky. I've had one or two gigs that were like, oh my god, just get off the stage and forget about it, which happened. But like, there's been some really good ones. Like we played back in the day when Dye was a thing. Played there with My Empire. Played it a few times, but there was one night in particular that was like the best buzz ever, and it was like it's one of those, and the whole thing was recorded as well. And so it's beautiful to be able to look back on that. And we had like gigs was always kind of the awkward question for the last year. Like every time we release music and someone asks about gigs, but last week we signed 3 or 4 gigs for the end of this year that are really exciting. That yeah, I can't wait to announce them and kind of start prepping for them because it's that light at the end of the tunnel that we're all kind of waiting for, you know.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I suppose like once you get to the release date for August, like what is your plan to, I suppose, just go gigging, enjoy it, enjoy, I suppose, the feedback you get off the music, or is it more so head straight down again, let's make more? Or are you just gonna deal with it when it comes?
Yeah, so we've talked about it. And it's something at the back of my mind. Like, so the last single, I think, was the first time that I really felt like I wish we had gigs now, because you're judging the success of a single off a screen, really. Like you're looking at Spotify numbers, you're looking at people's messages, that kind of jazz, and there's other little bits that go on that are nice and promising and kind of make you feel good, but nothing anywhere near the feeling of playing your music to a live audience. So like in August, I'd love to think we'd have gigs of some sort. I don't know if we will. And so I'm wary of like, you put in all this work, you do like all like the hours spent, all this kind of going on and on for 18 months in this album. You release the album and now there's nothing to close the feedback loop of you did well or you did poorly or there's no one cares or everyone cares. Whatever it is, at least you know. Because you're just sitting home having a takeaway pint looking at your phone screen. Do you know what I mean? So they're kind of exactly, yeah. So like we're aware of that and we're kind of going, we need to keep the ball rolling. Like we can't release the album and go, ah, sure, no one cares about it.
Yeah.
So get round off it or whatever, because that's the way we're used to releasing music, is having that kind of
absolutely gaining momentum and being in it. You don't want to just put all, like you just said, put all the work in and then just sit idle and just nothing, no feedback, no nothing, because it would just it wouldn't help. And like I just think once you like I don't know what your plans are, but I know that once you release this album, more good things are going to come. It's a domino effect. So one good thing leads to another. So you want to keep that ball rolling. So it's like anything, man. No one really knows what's going on. And with the constant pushbacks, you know, of like just everything, even with the hospitality sector, everything being pushed back, it's just nobody knows what's going to happen. And it's just like, I'd say that's probably the only thing that is, I suppose, irritating ye at the moment as a band, because you just want a clear direction and be like, we're doing this, we have that lined up, we have this gig, and it's just it's hard to get structure, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to plan as well. Like you can't, like we haven't like rehearsed together and I know how long. Like if we play a gig at the weekend, it'd be ropey, like you know. You need time to get back into a room to like for individually to kind of get used, get up to speed, and like you start gigging and there's an intensity to that's unlike rehearsals. Do you know what I mean? So you need to kind of get back into your stride. It's all well and good sitting in your room playing the songs. You look out and there's 400 people and your heart starts beating and you're going.
Exactly. Same as anything. You train all week, but it won't prepare you for the match on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? It's so applicable. Like, it's just different when you're in it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it's look, hopefully we'll have like we've got gigs booked for November, December. Hopefully we'll know before that and we can start kind of ramping things up beforehand. But I think we're all very kind of level-headed, thinking, okay, our expectations are measured and we still know what the plan is after the release of the album. It's like, okay, we're going to start writing again. There's loads of more tunes there to get done, which I'm always looking forward to more now than the album coming out, because like I know what the album sounds like. I really want to record the other stuff and see what we can do with those, you know.
Yeah, but that's the sign that you're passionate about it. You just want to keep going. It's not a job to you. It's a hobby that has the perks of a job. So it's brilliant. So actually, you have another band as well, Left on Red.
Left on Red class. So Left on Red is myself, my buddy Stephen Tynan, and my brother Jack. And we just finished recording an EP. And man, it's like it's there's something about playing with family and like with Jack, he's my younger brother, and it's like there's something so great about that. Yeah. That's beyond everything else. Like Raging Sons have had like unbelievable success with the stream numbers and all that jazz. If nobody ever listened to the Left on Red stuff, I'd still be like, yes, this is unreal to do with my brother.
With that connection, instantaneous connection. Like as in, I actually, if you anyone wants to follow Adam Reeves on Instagram, give him a follow, because I've seen actually some sessions of you jamming with your brother. And I never really knew, like again, back in school, who knows what will happen, but I never really knew if you would like form something or get something together. So now that you're actually working on an EP, have an EP is just like, that is a cool feeling. Like that must be unreal. Like, and you're just like, I'd say you're super proud of him. And what, like within the band, what's he do? Like you're on drums, what's his position?
So myself, Steve, and Jack. So Jack he's lead guitarist. So he does a lot of the guitar stuff. But there's only three of us, so we're all like, Steve and Jack will do bass on one song together. Like they'll chop and change and different bits, and which is really cool. It's a really nice kind of collective of where it's just the three of us, and we talked about like, okay, we need to get a bassist to do this, and we need to get someone to do this, but we can all do everything we need to do together. And it's just like that really kind of close knit, because like we've rehearsed obviously an awful lot coming up to recording, and an awful lot through lockdown as well. So it's like the only social connection you'd have a lot of the time was the three of us. And so again, it's a really beautiful thing to be able to go, right, here's a product that's come from this, you know. It's really cool.
No, it's just watching. I suppose watching the fruits of your labor, there's just the satisfaction of hard work paying off, and when you see it paying off as well, it's very, very cool. I suppose actually that's what I'd ask you, because like all this happening to you now and all the music, like where do you think you'd be if it wasn't for the music? Because I remember I do recall, it was a physio that you were passionate about at one stage.
Yeah, wanted to do physio, and then
like that's just mad. Like what happened there?
So I wanted to do physio, and then I wasn't happy with the course. I was like, okay, look, I'll go and do sports science.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at the sports science curriculum, and it was like maths for sports 1, physics for sports 1. Do you know what? Maybe not for me. Just I don't know what to do, because like then we did the whole like, went to college, dropped out of college, opened the cafe, had a music venue, got out of that just in time.
I actually, not to pull you up because I don't want to interrupt you, but that's actually another thing I wanted to just quickly ask you about, the cafe. So what was that like? What was that? Was it the most pressurized like period of your life, or did you enjoy it, or what? When you look back, what do you think?
It had the mornings of like waking up, just dry retching, panicking about stuff that you had to get done, but it also had these unbelievable highs, and it had far more highs than lows. Like looking back on it now, like I'm so happy that we decided to close it down to do other things before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we locked the door in that place. I flew to Greece, and I was sitting in Greece looking at the news reports coming in, like, oh, there's the virus in China. I'm gonna go, no, I wonder will it hit here?
Yep.
And within 2 weeks, I had to rebook flights to get home because the countries are shutting down. And like, if we still had Stormy then, now our conversation now would be totally different. It wouldn't be talking about the highs that we had and how amazing it was, because it was incredible. Like, and a ridiculous thing to do. Do you know? It was,
that's the thing. I remember talking to you during that period, and I remember you were just loving it. You were absolutely loving it. Like, and it was cool. It was very cool. It was niche. It was different. It was quirky. That's what it was. It was a very quirky, chill cafe, and I just thought it was very cool. But I think what's most impressive is that you keep going from different things, but nothing is I suppose stagnated. Like nothing's holding you back. You just keep moving, following your passions. I'll try this. You're not afraid to fail, basically, in anything. And like what, like where's that come from? Where's the confidence come from? Like,
I think that alone is looking at my two parents, to be honest. Like my mom and dad are legends, and I think there's not an awful lot of stuff that I'm doing right now that I'd be doing without them. In any way, shape, or form. Both like actually physically doing stuff, and stuff like the cafe. It was like 18 years of age, turning around going, here, I might give this a hop. And all the support you have, all the confidence you need, that kind of the stuff that you don't know you need at that kind of an age, that looking back now, you're going, Jesus, I'd have been totally lost without it. So that's where it comes from, I guess. And I think, yeah, the whole fear of failure, I think it's a conscious decision people have to make. Same as the whole acceptance we talked about a while ago. It's like, look, you get one crack off this. Like, you can spend the lockdown being annoyed about things and being angry and frustrated, or you can make the most of it. And same with life in general. I think you can go give things a hop. What's the worst that can happen? Like,
exactly, you know? Exactly. It's perspective. So is it really failure, or is it just another learning, you know, a learning experience that will just add on to anything else? It's just building confidence. So it's not even failure. It's you tried something. Maybe it wasn't for you. Maybe it just didn't work at the time in that period of life, but it will all pay its due down the road. You know, it'll all pay off. And I think that's why I think a lot of people in this generation are just afraid to kind of, I wouldn't say like try things, but like their passions. A lot of people are just, it's structured now. I need to have this by 30, 35. I want to have, you know, it's all, people are afraid to just grab life and just enjoy it. Like, of course, you have to, everybody's got to make money. You got to live. But like at the same time, making money isn't just like, that's not what living is. You got to experience stuff, you got to try stuff, and you following your passions and your hobbies. Like you just said there, you're doing it with your brother. Like, like that must, like, you know, that's what more could you want, to be fair? And I'd say, like, what's Jack's view on it? What, give me a quote from Jack. Does he love it? Is he like, what's his situation like on the band?
Jack loves it. I think like for Jack's just the coolest dude in the world, right? He's like, could not face him with anything, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
he's like,
chill.
He's just zen the whole way through stuff.
Yeah.
But it's class. Like, even chatting to my dad there last weekend, we played him some of the mixes from the sessions with Left on Red, and for him, it's like, because like I'm proud to do it with Jack, but I'd say my dad looking at the two of us doing it together, he must be going, it's so special, like.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like Jackman, like, I don't know, he's unbelievable. And I know like there's I'm trying to check my bias here, but like it's so special to be able to play with him. Number one, because he's my brother, but also the talent that guy has is ridiculous. Like, you've probably seen some of the stuff on my Instagram or whatever, him playing.
Yep.
It's like, go ahead, what age you like? You know?
You know straight away. Some people just kind of have it. And I remember seeing him and I was like, oh, Adam, you have a bit of a family competition going on there already. But like, obviously you build each other up, but like, it's just nice. It is nice to see, like, and I honestly, I hope you do it. I hope you do well, because like you can only get better. And I just, I can see you doing very, very well down the line. I suppose going forward, I know no one knows what's happening in COVID, but let's say if we could in a I don't know, an alternate reality, throw COVID to the side there for a minute. What would you what maybe three things off your head that you'd love to do going forward? Music related, business, anything.
Jesus, Mark. What would I love to do? I'd love to have dinner inside somewhere.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. It actually wouldn't be bad. Maybe a few drinks as well.
Yeah, you never know. What I'd love to do, I'm mad to get back gigging. That's the one thing that that's hanging out there. The other side of it is like, I'm never going to go to the beach again and be like, I won't have a swim now today.
Yeah,
I think I've learned so much to just appreciate what's like, whatever you have. It's like when the football came back this season, it's like you could watch every match on a Saturday because they stagger the times. It's like,
absolutely, Madagascar have a great squad this year. No, you just anything.
But anything like that, do you appreciate all of it? It's like there's nothing really massive that I want to do, or like that one big thing that I want to make. I'm really happy and really grateful for how things have gone in the last year and a bit. And if they can continue going like that, then I'll be totally happy. Yeah. And yeah, it just, I don't know. Looking forward to pint.
Yeah. Forward back to some I couldn't agree more. I think a lot of people are just, I wouldn't even say, like, I suppose fed up is the word. I was trying to think of something else, but they're the words, like fed up. People are just, they're almost done. They're at the end of their tether now, and just, people need to get out living again. And it feels like for some reason it's very slow in this country. Like everyone else seems, it's just, I don't know, we seem to be falling behind, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. And especially when you dig into it and you think like we're slow because hospitals don't have capacity. You think that's totally fine. what to be frustrated about is what has happened in the last 10 years in terms of cutting ICU beds, cutting that kind of intensive care thing. That's what you need to be frustrated at. We're here because of that. And I think you have, again, there's a certain amount of like, look, we're nearly there. Just hold on kind of thing. But I'm about to get in a train tomorrow, fly up to Belfast for the weekend, and I can stroll around. I can go in and get a bit of grub somewhere. I can go shopping. Do you know what I mean?
Live.
It's like 2 hours up the road. Like it doesn't really make sense. I think that's kind of, it's that juxtaposition that's frustrating people an awful lot. But we're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Sorry, I know you're busy, so I won't hold you for too much longer. Just even, I suppose, quickly, what age did you start? When did you start drumming?
Oh, 11, I want to say. Parents got me an electric drum kit because like there's no way this was going to keep it up.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have if I didn't hear him saying that. And I was like, yeah, watch this.
Yeah. Oh, you need that though. You need the naysayers, even if it's, no matter who it is, if they say one bad thing, you're like, okay, no, I'm gonna, it's like Michael Jordan, like, no, for me, I took it personal.
Yeah.
For it then. So My Empire, that was your first, wasn't it? I believe your first kind of band. And what happened there in that whole situation?
I think we did what we needed to do. Jack and I, like, we went, had a blast, because like we ended up kind of in a similar situation where we were recording. No, sorry, yeah, we had some recordings.
Yep.
We were playing gigs and we were like, it's not the vibe, it's not what we want to do. When we were trying to kind of figure out a sound, and we were playing stuff that wasn't really what we wanted to play, and we had the same conversation. We're like, all right, let's just go and rehearse, get a bag of cans, let's just play what we want to play. And we ended up writing and playing the best music we've ever played. Like, we wrote an EP, recorded an EP that was phenomenal, because it was what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of, I think the best things in life are short-lived.
But that's you achieved what you set out to do. So
yeah, totally.
Right, I suppose the last question. If you had any inspirations or advice you could give to someone who wanted to start drumming and get into the music scene, like, what would they be?
I've been really lucky. I've been really lucky, music-wise. Like, I was 16 joining My Empire because they were auditioning drummers. They didn't find someone. And a mate of mine who was in the music scene in Limerick knew the guys, texted them and said, look, give this young fella a shot. And then they gave me a shot and they're like, okay, let's kind of stick with him, or let him kind of stick with us, take him under his wing. And like, the guys are like the best friends I've ever had in My Empire. Like, so I kind of learned under them, was under their wing all the way up, and I learned my chops. I learned how to drum. I learned what a drummer needed to do, what a drummer didn't need to do and shouldn't be doing. Played some unbelievable gigs. Then on tour, My Empire gave me the Raging Sons connection, so now that's gone to there. I met Steve from Left on Red because of Raging Sons. Now we've got that going on. Then with Stormy, there was obviously like all the different gig connections because we had a music venue there, and so that opened up some other doors. So there is some of it that's kind of been in the right place, but like at the same time, I was out like living up on a mountainside out in a garage with a drum kit every night for 3 or 4 hours, just playing along to songs, freezing cold, like looking at your breath in front of you kind of stuff. So you do have to work hard. But I think, especially looking at the music scene now and being a little bit older, just go out and chat to people, be nice to people. Like, the Limerick music scene, such nice people. And anyone I've ever met, like, I haven't, there's been a couple, but the majority of bands that I've met are just, they're the nicest guys. You know what I mean? Just great men and women that are just great crack. They're mad for anything. They'll give you anything. And Limerick is really like that. Like, Limerick is a really close-knit, super nice community of people.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
When things open back up, like, you have places like Charlie Malone's that do an open mic and that kind of thing, and there's those kind of routes into stuff. Then on the flip side, you've got TikTok now, which means, you know, in the morning you could be the guy
taking over the world, like, basically, pretty much. I suppose, is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything else about Left on Red? Anything else about other, like, what, like, anything at all that you'd like to say?
No, I mean, I'd love if people give us a follow. We're at Raging Sons and at leftonred.band on Instagram. But yeah, because like I think the music is really good. I think
so do I listened to you. I think it was what was it? I think it was 3 weeks ago. It was the first time. It's mad I've known you so long, but 3 weeks ago was the first time I was listening to a bit of music of it and Raging Sons, because I actually read another article and I was like, oh, my God, he's doing it. That kind of thing. I was like, he talked about it. Now he's doing it. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, you are talented. You're definitely talented. Like, so oh yeah, I wouldn't. I just keep it going. And actually, what I would say is I hope to get you and maybe Jack on here someday. I think it'd be cool. Yeah. So yeah. Honestly, God, man, I wish you all the best. Don't forget Raging Sons album out in August. Please, everybody, go and get it, and hopefully we see you gigging soon, because I'd say everybody in Limerick would want to see you gigging soon.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Raging Sons, pleasure to have you on, my man.
Cheers, dude.